So I've walked through a venue plenty of times holding a drink I wasn't going to drink because I didn't want to hear about how I wasn't drinking. I'll kind of hold this one and now I'll use it as a prop and do all of that. But if you're drinking at an event, you're having drinks.
My back is paining.
Timberlake, buddy, the one martini, nobody is believing that. Absolutely nobody. Again, he did not submit to a field sobriety test or an alcohol test. Now, I should not be giving out this kind of advice, but all I can tell you is what my lawyer told me. Don't ever do it. My lawyer said to me, he goes, why would you do that? He goes, let me guess, they threaten you, right? He's like, they told you they take your license for a year no matter what if you refuse. Yeah, that's a lie. He's like, it can happen. He's like, but if you hire a good lawyer, it's not. He's like, so they scared you into what, Dan? Giving them evidence they're going to use when you and I go to court. Absolutely nothing that breath test help you at all. And this is like what I always say about my contract. If my contracts helped me, they would never give it to me. It helps the company, not me, right? And that's the similar thing. That's what my lawyer had told me about the field sobriety test and the alcohol test. He's like, don't ever do that. He's like, if you ever get in trouble again, don't ever do that. Why would you give them evidence? Like, that's one of the dumbest things you could do. He's like, don't do that. I was like, okay. Now, that, again, my thing was like 12 years ago. That was like 12 years ago. But my best guess is that celebrities are probably told similar things. Like, hey, man, we kind of know plenty of your friends have been in trouble. If you get into an accident at the scene, they're going to pull blood. That's a different thing, right? Once there's an accident, they have probable cause to do anything they want. They you know what I mean? And they can start pulling blood. They can start doing stuff. To the best of my knowledge, I believe that's true. And so that's a little bit of a different situation. But I see all this stuff, all this people going all crazy over this Timberlake thing. It's like, guys, there's a lot of judgment from people in these Facebook comment sections who are going to stop at the bar tomorrow night and have 3 glasses of wine or 2 Busch Lights or whatever it is before you go home to do whatever else you're doing on Friday night. I don't think we can make Justin Timberlake public enemy #1 because he sings songs. Like, come on. The Stansbury Cup, our golf outing, is next month on July 24th. You can get your team signed up today. That at WRQK.com. We'll see you guys at Raintree Golf and Event Center. Fantastic host for us last year. Can't wait to go back. Never played Raintree. This is a great opportunity for you to do it. It'll quickly become one of your favorite courses in the area. We'll see you guys July 24th. Get signed up right now at WRQK.com. We all talk often about what annoys us. God knows I do. A lot of the show is dedicated to that crime. You ever stop to think about whether or not you're annoying? Like just the other day I posted this thing. A guy sent me an email about how much he hates me. But I said one thing the other day. He's like, I've hated your guts since you started 10 years ago. Well, you said this thing today and now I like it. It's like, hated me for 10 years still, right? And in the comments, somebody said to me, I don't understand how anybody can hate you. And I said, oh, dude, I totally get why people can hate me. Are you kidding me? I'm annoying as hell. I'm obnoxious. I totally get it, right? But you ever stop and think to yourself, like, oh, God, is what I'm doing right now annoying? Like, sometimes people will say to me when they're out with me, like, dude, just go here, just do this, or just do that. I'm like, nah. They're like, what? I'm like, well, that would annoy me. And I don't want to do the thing that's going to annoy somebody else. Like, I find myself not sending things back in restaurants or not doing this. There's certain things I just don't do, right? And actually, restaurants is what I want to talk about. Because service workers came together to tell us a list full of things that we're doing in restaurants, whether we realize we're doing it or not, that is really annoying and they're sick of kind of doing it. Now, I know. It's their job. Bring you the iced tea and don't bitch, otherwise I'm taking $1 off your tip. I know, right? But we all know human beings can be annoying. Number 10 was flirt with the staff. 57% of them said, dude, just, it's annoying. Don't do it. I think I'm probably guilty of it. I have been told by more than one woman I have dated, you just kind of have a natural flirtatious nature about you. So I think most people probably think you're hitting them. It's like, what? And like, I never thought I was. But I guess my dad had a little bit of this too, because my mom used to kind of like, snicker at him about it occasionally. And multiple women I have dated, I've had fights with. And I always thought it was like, are they just insane? Like, I'm always dating I was doing that guy thing. Like, dude, I just always seem to be dating the crazy broad. It's like, well, if you're always dating the crazy broad, then it might be a you problem, right? Like, there might be part of you there. But plenty of women I've dated have gotten annoyed with me while being at dinner while thinking I was flirting with someone. I wasn't like, it wasn't like front of mind. I wasn't doing it on purpose. I didn't even think about it. I just kind of was talking. But yeah, I'm willing to bet, like, if you feel like people are flirting with you while you're working, it's like, dude, I'm required to be standing here. And there's only so much I'm allowed to say back to you. That could be tough. Absolutely. I could understand that kind of being annoying. Next on the list, this is annoying behaviors that apparently you and I are committing while being in public places, mostly the restaurants. Occupying a table for an extended period during busy hours.
That's a charter bus.
All right.
What is that?
Look, here's the thing. You don't know why people are
Like a
doing
tour group.
Oh.
Now, this is top of mind for me because my family was just here.
Well, they're going
But I
there.
don't see my brother and his wife.
Well, they're going
Look it
there.
out. Maybe once a year if I'm lucky.
They're probably going out towards
Right?
us.
So they came into town. We found ourselves at some restaurants,
We
and
get
we
buses
were
all
at
the
those
time.
tables a little longer in those situations than I would have been had I just taken, like, went out to dinner with a woman. Yes. Hey, how's this? Let's catch up. Let's
They
blah,
do
blah,
the
blah.
same
We'll
thing
do a
in
little
other
bit of this.
cities,
Remember
too,
when we
like,
went here?
Once
And
in a while,
I'm
you'll
sure
see
there were some servers who were a
bus-
little annoyed
a
about
bus
that. Like,
tour
man, I
to,
kind of need this
like,
six
New
top
York
to flip
City or
over. That
something.
way I can get people here. I can make my money. And we all have things about our jobs that annoy us. I got plenty of, I lucked out.
What
I
is
absolutely
PA?
lucked out.
Pennsylvania?
Are there things
Yeah,
about this job that are wildly annoying? Yes, absolutely. The positives outweigh them, so it makes it worth it. But yeah, we all have jobs where things are annoying, whether we should be annoyed by them or not, we all have them. Leaving a mess at the table, such as spilled drinks or food crumbs.
Probably they're going there in
Well, this one's going to be tough because, like, whose definition of a mess are we using? Now, I try to stack the plates the best I can and kind of get them grouped together. And other people, I've had this argument at tables, at restaurants over the years. People say, oh, that's their job to do this. Matter of fact, it was one night we were closing the bars.
My eyes.
And we were in one of those, like, diner type places.
Because
There's
I
plates all
feel
over.
like
And I started stacking them up and putting them at the end of the table. This is a long time.
like.
And my buddy, Johnny, that back then said to me, he goes, what are you doing? He's like, that's their job. Like, that's what I said, yeah. I said, but dude, I've been a server. And beyond that, my life comes to me easy.
Like your eyes.
Easier than a lot of things. And so sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, I'm reminded of that. And I think to myself, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of help out. Right?
Okay,
and so I think doing your level best to try to do that for the server, I think is probably just good behavior. Beyond that, I would imagine you, like I, are a creature of habit. I mean, you probably go to the same 10 places over and over again. That's why people advertise. Hey, come to our place and make it the 11th place you go, right? Like, that's kind of why my industry is a thing, is because people are a creature of habit. So the more often you're going to go to a place, the better I would want the staff to be thinking about you overall. Probably the better service you will get in the future and those types of things. But whose version of a mess are we using? Showing up 15 minutes late to a reservation. 66% of service workers said, yeah, this is really, really annoying. Now, I know what the customer's thinking. The customer is always right. It's my reservation, the customer is always right. To which I will respond and say, well, what about the customer who's waiting for the table behind you then? Are they right or are you right? They have a reservation too, and you're not here. We could give that table to them because they have a reservation. They're a customer. The customer is always right. Oh, geez, I think what I might do is I might go with the customer who's actually in my lobby. I'm going to go with them being right. Now, I have a hair across my head about this because, like, being late was preached to us in the radio business when I went to the broadcast school. Time is late. 15 minutes early is on time. And I have run that system most of my entire life. If I tell you I'm going to be somewhere at 8, you look in that parking lot at 10 till and I'll be right there. I don't like people wasting my time. I try not to waste other people's time. 8 o'clock is 7:50. That's how I do that. So if I show up 15 minutes late, there was traffic, there was this. Okay, like, traffic's not an excuse.
Dude, this is also hot like
people
that.
understand that?
There's nothing like that here.
I'm sorry, were you under the impression you were going to pull out of your garage and drive all the way to the restaurant and not see another motor vehicle on that road while you were going to do that? Was that what you were under the impression of? 15 minutes late to the reservation. I'm sorry, I'm going to the next table. Having been a server, having been a bar owner, understand? No, flip these things over. I need customers sitting down. I need drinks on tables. What are we doing here? We're not waiting for Bill and Sally who are late. Move on to that next table. Showing up 15 minutes late to a reservation is annoying. expecting to get your table right away, that is really annoying. Showing up late, like, look, life does happen. You show up late and be like, yo, ours bad, sorry, we ran into a little traffic, we weren't expecting that. We understand you kind of had to move on. We still are looking to have dinner here tonight. We will gladly sit at the bar and wait for our table to be ready. Then you're in the right. Then you're in the right. But you gotta understand, you haven't given anybody any money yet. So I'm the customer of this, you haven't paid anybody yet. So you're not right yet. It's like you're not right. This one should be obvious. Bringing in outside food or drinks into the restaurant. I'll leave a door open here for a kid, right? Sometimes kids are picky eaters. Sometimes they're not eating things over spectrum issues or some other things. I will leave a door open here, right? And I would even look at the restaurant, like, dude, 3 of the 4 people here are ordering food, and yes, there's a little baggie full of goldfish and a half a peanut butter sandwich menu. But we're trying not to get divorced, Brad. So can we just sit here and have our dinner and you not making a problem for us right now? Like, I'll leave room open for a kid, right, when it comes to things like that. But if you're an adult walking in and be like, well, they don't serve Pepsi here, so I brought my Pepsi, get the hell out of my restaurant, dude. What the hell is the matter with you? I'll make some concessions for children. I understand it. I think you got to be careful about when and where you do that too. But I could understand that. Once you're an adult, I have a similar system with going through the drive-thru. Can I have this without this, without that, without this, and without that? I'm a grown-up. I will literally open that package up, take the pinky or the thumb, and scrape all the trash off the burger I don't want, and then eat it. You know why? Because I'm damn near 50 and not 5. And so, like, bringing outside food or drinks, that's being that's not annoying. That's disrespecting the business, if you ask me. Again, I'll make concessions for small children. But once you're an adult, I'm sorry, I'm not looking the other way on that. There's a few more of these, and it turns out we're really annoying in restaurants. So we'll get through the rest of this list. We'll do it here on Rock 106.9. 330-450-7625 to send a text to the studio. And with Bert Kreischer in town tonight at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, I figured, let's let you take a listen to our conversation with Bert. We'll do that at 9. What we had been doing was talking about a list of things that make you and I annoying when we go out to eat. Service workers came together and said, this is what you're doing that makes us crazy when you come in, right? We already ran you through a few of them. They were flirt with the staff. 57% of workers said that. Occupy a table for an extended period of time during busy hours. Leaving a mess at the table. They listed spilled drinks or food crumbs. Crumbs are going to be part of eating, but there's a way to maybe stack up the plates and not necessarily be like, well, I paid, I'm doing whatever I want here, right? We can try to be a little decent. They also said showing up 15 minutes late to a reservation. I said, well, if you're 15 minutes late, I'm giving your table to somebody else. If you show up and you're like, well, we didn't know there were going to be traffic. It's like, well, there's cars out there. Now, if you run into some traffic and you're late and you still want to eat at the restaurant, I think it's perfectly okay to say, well, look, okay, we were late. That's our problem, not yours. We understand you gave our table away. We still want to be interested in having dinner here tonight. Can you get us another table? We'll wait quietly at the bar. Then I'm fine with it. But if you show up 15 minutes late and they don't have a table for you and you're screaming at the maitre d', or like, let's be honest, maitre d', the hostess, like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, then that's a problem with you, I think, right? They also said bringing outside food or drinks into the restaurant. And that's pretty much where we stopped, the first part of this conversation. And I made an exemption there for small children. I get it, right? Sometimes you're going out to eat, the 3 of you are going to get something, but the kid, and like, they don't want anything on the menu. Here's your goldfish. You know what I mean? Eat these. I think that's fine. If you're an adult and you're bringing in your own soda because they don't have what you want, that's a problem with you, right? You're an adult. Pick something else out. Kids, I'll make room for, right? I totally understand. And that's where we left off the list. But we do have some more of these. This is rude. And if you don't know this is rude, I almost want to spend a day with you, because I would like to see what else you're doing. Like, oh my God, you don't know that annoys people? Like, because this is snapping your fingers to get the waiter's attention. Snapping is disrespectful. We know. You're never snapping at somebody trying to be nice about it. Your snapping is automatically, it's a little disrespectful, for sure. You normally do it to what? Your children? You don't think it's disrespectful? The next time you get into an argument with your zero chance, I am going home and snapping my fingers at my wife. dude, there is zero chance I'm doing that. Right, because it's going to be the only thing you care about for the next month. So, like, we know snapping fingers is disrespectful. If your boss snapped fingers at you, how are you feeling about it?
What is it?
Not great. You would hate that.
A hawk.
Let's not do that to service people. By the way, if you're the kind of person that worries somebody spitting in, that is disrespectful. True. For sure it is. This one I think is rude too. Staying past the restaurant's closing time. Now, I saw this asked differently the other way. Is it rude to show up to a restaurant close to closing time? I'll address both. I think the answer is yes. I can't tell you how many times I'll be sitting on my couch. I'll look up something on Google, be like, they close in an hour. I'm not going. It's an hour. I could easily get there.
Dirty. Why do you have some blood here?
I know you should be able to. I'm saying I don't want to do that. I do that with the grocery store. I'll look and be like, it's an hour. They don't want me in there. They want to sweep the floors and try to get out of there. And so I think it's rude to show up to a place pretty close to closing. I know it says till 10 and blah, 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 but dude, shutting down the grill and cleaning that and cleaning the kitchen, they're trying to get out. We all want to get out of work and go home as fast as humanly possible every single day. I love my job. And I mean, I love it. And I still, every day, I'm like, get me the hell out of here. So imagine what it's like. Well, some of you don't have to imagine. Some of you do hate humanly possible. I could understand that. And yeah, I think staying past, it's closed. Get your ass out of there. The customer's always right. So were all those other customers that left. Maybe they were the customers that were right, and you're just the rude one, right? Maybe that's the thing.
Okay.
This other one I don't get either.
Yeah.
Debating menu prices with the
places
staff.
like things like that, they
My
generally
brother
do a
can do this
tour.
guy a little bit. My brother will negotiate.
They'll have a
wherever
couple
he goes.
different
A
stops.
little less in restaurants, but like if my brother goes and buys a
spend some time
TV,
here,
he'll literally
then
start
they'll
grilling
move
the kid
on.
like, you can. Allowing their children to roam. I'm fine. She'll finish what she had, and then we're just going to be good. I'll just take the check. That's me, right? But if I just take a bite of something and I'm like, oh, I don't care for this, I'm not going to ask that to be taken off the bill. I made a decision, and that decision didn't necessarily work out. If I want something else, then I order it. But debating prices or telling people you're not going to pay for something, especially after you ate it, that's not rude. That goes beyond that. You're just now a douchebag. I'm looking to day drink and play a little golf with you. We'll do that next month, July 24th, the Stansbury Cup at Raintree Golf and Event Center. Get your team signed up today. That at WR2K.com. Looking forward to that next month. Can't wait. Had been talking about being annoying while out to eat, the restaurants. Service workers gave us a list of things that they did. The staff, occupying a table for too long, leaving a mess at the table, showing up late to a reservation, 15 minutes late, bringing outside food or drink, snapping their fingers to get the waiter's attention. That one's really bad. Snapping your fingers is disrespectful. It just is. Staying past the restaurant's closing time. Yeah, get the hell out of there. What are you doing? Debating the menu prices with the staff. Yeah, they can't control that. Allowing your children to roam freely. 90% of people who work in restaurants were like, that's really annoying. And of course it would be. And saying that you will not pay for a dish that you didn't like, but you still ate all of it. If you ate all of it, you didn't eat it enough. Sorry, I'm reading this text as it's coming in. If you ate all of it, you enjoyed it well enough. You don't get to not pay for something if you finished it. Brad had been a server and said it was mind-boggling how many people would be like, hey, it is really cold in here. Can you turn the temperature up? Or, vice versa, it's a little hot. Can you turn the AC on? Like I had any control of that. Yeah, diners, I would think you'd have to look at servers like kids growing up in their dad's house. Every comedian ever has had in my day, I wasn't allowed to touch the thermostat because pops, right? Like, what's the deal with the thermostat? And like, that becomes a standard line that you can say because of how many people dealt with that growing up. Dad was like, don't touch that thing. View your server like the kids in the restaurant owners, their dad's house. That's exactly what that is, right? Having been a server when asked for things like that, yeah, we'll check on that right away. And then turn around and be like, we're not checking on that. What the hell are we talking about? Oh, hey, we were able to turn that up just a little bit for you. And you could watch the same people, same temperature go, oh, thank you. I feel bad. I know it's the rules. Now I know what you're thinking. I look old enough. Then I had to have 2 That's where I really started to be like, yeah, the government, they can. I was dealing with the Oregon Liquor Control Commission. But in order to serve there, I had to have an owner's card. So I had to
Girl
take
or
training
boy?
to be an owner of an establishment that sold alcohol. And then if I was going to actually serve in my establishment, I've already been certified as an owner. But if I was going to serve, then I had to get another certification in order to serve in my place that I had already been serving. At stuff, right? Just doing a bang up job at stuff. But that was one of the things. It was like, we don't care how old someone is. People can have beards, they can have this, they can have that. We need
Why
to
the
see
color of
ID.
that is blue?
Now, in the next handful of years, it won't be an ID, it'll
The
be
water is blue. Why you
biometric.
put their
They'll just scan your palm and it'll be like, dude, this guy's like 113, serve him whatever he wants. And IDs are going to go by the wayside. Literally, the guy creating the technology just said yesterday, he hopes to have IDs out of your life inside of 10 years. Here. Scary stuff, if you ask me. But yes, you know the rule when you're going in to buy alcohol somewhere. You got to be 21 and you better be able to prove it. If you're unable to do that, or if you didn't bring your ID, you could maybe go, dude, look, you can tell them. You can maybe do that.